Welcome to King Says So, a channel that advocates for one Africa, one land, one Africa, one language, one Africa, one currency, one Africa, one army. I wish to witness Africans all around the world united as one in our lifetime. Enjoy. This episode was proudly brought to you by Black Heart Clothing. Black Heart Clothing, after the African spirit. For any inquiries and orders, please contact us on 068 473 6908 or email us on theblackheart@gmail.com. The Black Heart, the hustle continues. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy King053, Mr. Easy Imali Eneng, and we're back at it again with another one. Before I start, let me do some shout outs to all the subscribers and everyone that's taking that participate in the comment section. So let's just quickly, it's 18 people, I need to do it fast. We've got Tafula from Toyando, thank you so much for tuning in. And then we've got our brother watching us from all the way from Cuba. Keep it real in Cuba, thank you so much for watching. And we've got Lesotho, my brother from Lesotho, saying I'm watching you from Cape Town. Cape Town is always in the house, thank you so much for tuning in. And we've got a brother says I'm watching you from Zambia, thank you so much for tuning in from Zambia. And we've got another one watching us from Cameroon. Thank you so much, your family, thank you so much for always tuning in. There's another one from Cameroon also, appreciate it so much, guys, all the love from Cameroon. We've got Marsh aka Mhlanga, residing in the UK. Thank you so much. The UK is always in the house. Botswana is always in the house watching. Thank you so much. That's Kabelo from Botswana, his family now. And we've got Edmund watching us from the US. Thank you so much. We've got Temba from Kwamhlanga watching us from Kwamhlanga, my best city. Thank you so much for watching. And then we've got King Kamuji watching you from NU Potchefstroom campus, Northwest University. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we've got a brother watching from Gauteng in Brongospruit. Thank you so much for tuning in. Small town in Gauteng North. And we've got Enoch watching us from Kanana in Hammarskraal. Thank you so much for tuning in, Enoch. And we've got King Sangula from Cape Town. Thank you so much. Cape Town is always in the house. And then I'm streaming from Combat, currently in Pretoria. That is Tshwane. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And who's the last person? Peter says he's watching us from South Africa. Appreciate it, South Africa. And then we've got the last one who's saying I'm watching you from Eswatini. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I want to speak about this visit of the CIC, Julius Malema in Kenya. Went to go visit there, Dr. Patrick Lumumba. They invited him, launching a Pan-African institution there that is going to be opening. I think it's officially open. They were launching it. So Julius Malema made with his speech, he made some serious points that I wanted to point out. And it's points that we must not get tired as Pan-Africanists to repeat them, because repetition is the mother of all perfection, if you know that saying. So we believe that in repetition, the more we say something, the more we believe something, the more we act to something, is the more it will come to pass. So Julius Malema spoke, I think, for 18 minutes or something like that, close to 20 minutes. So I'm not going to play the whole clip, okay? I'm just going to play parts that a single clip that I believe I got a lot from in that clip. Of course, in that clip, let me see, what must I do? Let's do this. Let me do my reaction, then play the Malema clip. Okay, is that fine with you guys? So he spoke about the one currency thing. The one currency is a very important thing for Africans. Because if we've got 54 countries in Africa, if half of those countries use one currency, the dollar will die immediately. The euro will die. There is no currency that will be stronger than an African currency. I don't know what we can name that African currency. You guys give us suggestions on the comment section. But it is very important that even though it might seem not possible at the near future, but we keep on speaking about it so that people might know our intentions in the future, so that the colonizers, they must know that in the future we will not be trading with the dollar. We will not be measuring our currency according to the dollar, but the dollar would be measuring its currency against us, and it will be coming short all the time. The reason why gas is expensive, the standard of living is expensive, food is expensive, everything is because they tell us what our currency is to a dollar. They tell us $1 is equals to 21 rands. Who decides these things? How did you come out with that number? So we're going to come up with a number in terms of our currency here. No visa. I've always told you guys we don't want we want a borderless Africa where Africans can move freely around. And Africans get that wrong all the time. When they hear me saying this, they think I'm talking about people just, when you're from Zimbabwe and you come to South Africa for business, for work or whatever, you can come here and do whatever you please as an African. But the only thing that you cannot do, because we don't have one Africa, one president, you cannot vote in South Africa. So there isn't the limitation in terms of that. You can't vote here because you're not from here. You understand? So a Zimbabwean person will always then go back home to participate in terms of bettering that economy that side, selecting the correct leaders that side. So when we say a borderless Africa, we're not saying take away the names. The names will say one Africa is one country, one country with 54 villages instead of one continent with 54 countries. If you understand what I'm saying. So that's exactly what we're saying. There is sponsored wars in Africa. Africa, most of the wars are sponsored by our colonizers trying to fight the governments. We saw it happening in Gabon. We saw it happening in Mali. We saw it happening in Niger. We saw it happening in Burkina Faso, in Sudan, in Ethiopia. I can go on and on where in Nigeria, Kenya, everywhere. You ask yourself, where are these rebels getting their firepower from? You'll find in Nigeria, up in the north, there's Boko Haram. And you're asking yourself, how are these people fighting the army of the country? Is the army of the country not supposed to be stronger than them? But you find that they've got weaponry for days, machineries for days. Where are they getting them from? They are sponsored wars in Africa. That is why we are advocating for one Africa, one army. The one Africa, one army can crush any rebel or anything that comes and try to attack the freedom or the safety of people in Africa. That is why the one army comes into place. So we need that, because no other country, no other continent will ever attack Africa the way France attacked Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, Gabon, and all the other countries that France has attacked them. They won't attack. If Africa had one army, we will be able to shut everyone down. So another thing that troubles me personally is this thing of tribalism in Africa. I said to you guys, one Africa, one language. Most of you are saying, King, how can we have one Africa, one language? We are so different, our different cultures, our different everything. I'm like, whoa. Why is it you don't have the same reasoning when it comes to English? Why, when it comes to English, every African is supposed to speak it? But when we say, let's all speak Kiswahili, then there's a problem. No, there's a problem. Why? Because we undermine ourselves as Africans. We don't want to unite behind a purpose that pushes the African agenda forward. Every one of us, Julius Malema, the clip I'm going to play you now, is in Kenya, speaking speaking in I mean in the DRC, speaking in English. Why is it that we have submitted ourselves so much that no one dares to challenge the English language? Do you see how strong Britain is? Do you see how strong our minds have been colonized? Guys, one Africa, one language will liberate us completely from these people. They will be forced to learn that language, whether it be Swahili, Zulu, Igbo, whatever language we're going to choose as Africans, to say this language we're going to trade in, this language we're going to put it in the educational system. It's not to say change your culture. Don't change your norms. Don't change your traditional beliefs. Don't change anything. If you are a Zulu, you're still a Zulu. If you are a Shona, you're still a Shona. Whatever culture you are still that culture. But at school, we are going to learn this one language so that we can unite all of us as Africans. Tribalism is what is killing us. And when someone speaks your language, they speak to your heart. You understand? I think it's Nelson Mandela that said, speak to a man in a language that understands, you speak to their mind, but speak in their own language, you speak to the heart. Beautiful. So, yeah, so that's it. That's it. What I wanted to cover from that Julius Malema. Let me play out with that clip of Julius Malema and his speech. Please enjoy it. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts on the comment section. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. And after you pray, stand up and go do the best African, so that God can do the rest. I salute you.
I don't know if President William Ruto means it, because he said so many things and I can't locate him these days, because the things he said during election and the things he's doing now are two different things. I don't know, because I heard him saying we need to do away with the dollar and build our own currency. But his actions are not speaking to anything of doing away with the dollar. The latest being putting a red carpet for a murderer, a person who killed the Kenyan people, coming into this country, receiving a red carpet and being saluted by our own army. This is not a Kenyan army, it's not a colonialist army. The Kenyan army is a product of the Mau Mau rebellion, and those who killed our people in the Mau Mau rebellion cannot be saluted by the same army of the children of those who were killed during Mau Mau rebellion. We have a duty to stay true to the cause. We have a duty to remind the king and Britain of what they did to us. Indeed, he shows no remorse. He says this was bad, it shouldn't have happened. But he runs short of, I apologize, I am sorry. He will never say he is sorry, for because he thinks that his race makes him superior and he's not qualified to apologize to those who are junior to him. We call upon the Kenyan government to be firm and to decide what they want to be. Do they want to be Pan-Africanist, or do they want to be proponents of neo-colonialism? You can't have it both. Only one call must be made, and that call is of Pan-Africanism. It's not easy being a Pan-Africanist, for because the mindset of our people is so colonized, they are going to isolate you. They are going to look at you as if you are a mad person. They are going to look at you as if you are unreasonable. But it is a cause worth pursuing because of the generation that came before us. We don't want visas. We want one currency for Africa, because our currency can be more powerful than the pound and the dollar combined, because London has got the biggest storage of gold, yet they don't have a single smallest mine of gold. Their economy is based on our minerals. And if we safeguard our minerals and protect them and say out of these minerals, we are producing a currency that is going to compete internationally, we stand a good chance. We need African Central Bank. We need African Monetary Zone. We need African military combat, because these pockets of wars that are happening in Africa are not of our own making. They are sponsored wars so that those who continue to steal our resources can do so uninterrupted as we fight ourselves, amongst ourselves. So we need a military, a common defense system, the African High Command that will ensure the stability and security of Africa. We equally need a binding African court to deal with dictators who only exist in Africa to feed their friends and families. Those people must be prosecuted the African way, because ISIS is not meant to fight any crime, it's meant to pursue political fights. That's why ISIS will not declare a warrant of arrest against Netanyahu, but can declare a warrant of arrest against Putin, who has not bombed a hospital, who has not bombed a refugee camp, who has not declared a war on a certain ethnic group. We as Revolutionary Economic Emancipation Movement also associate with what Guinea's president Sekou Touré said in 1963. He said, above all, we must avoid the pitfalls of tribalism. There is tribalism taking place in DRC. All our leaders have taken a platform to support or to be against this one or that one. They've spoken on Palestine. They've spoken on the war between Russia and Ukraine. But I'm still to hear the stand of President William Ruto about the ongoing war that is not covered by anyone in DRC, where people are fighting over territorial expansion and plunder of resources, and blacks are killing other black people, and we pretend that we don't see. It's important as leaders of states and governments to always condemn violence and war, especially if it's barbaric and informed by tribalism and unjustifiable territorial expansions. Before you can speak about other countries, charity begins at home. Let there be peace in DRC. Without peace in DRC, Kenya will never know peace, because these rascals are going to learn from those wars in DRC and want to import them into Kenya. You have a duty to stop them there before they come into Kenya. Comrades, we will make sure the struggle of all immigrants, most of whom are economic migrants and asylum seekers in South Africa. We will never. In South Africa, they say to us, if you want to be elected, you must declare war on illegal immigrants. And illegal immigrants, they mean Africans. We have refused as the EFF that we will never declare war on any immigrant, illegal or legal. Illegal according to whose law? Because if you are illegal, you should have violated a certain law. Which African law did these people violate when they came to this side of Africa? Because they are still in the same territory of Africa. They are at home when they are in South Africa. We wish to tell them we're going to elections next year in South Africa. We wish to reiterate that, and we tell them all the time, If they want to elect us on the basis of xenophobia, they can keep their votes. We are not disparate for votes. We are disparate for the unity of Africa. And that's what we want to achieve in our lifetime. Remove the visas as an immediate step. And I heard Kenya is going to do that by December. Perhaps I must come back here in December unannounced. So to test if indeed President William Ruto means exactly what he said when he said there won't be visas in December. Maybe I must sneak in and test without applying for any visa and just give them the South African passport and say I'm coming home. Mama, we want to commit in front of you and all the dignitaries who are here and the students.